Join us on this week's Towncast Pembroke, where we'll be discussing all the usual stuff, the news, the sport, the events, and we'll be having a chat about Wednesday evening town meeting. It all sounds very melodramatic, doesn't it? Let's start the show. Hello, welcome back to Tancast Pembroke with me, Lee G. It's been a while. I know I keep saying it every time. My fault, apologise, all of that kind of stuff. But I've been manic crazy over the last couple of weeks with kids going to uni and radio from the parking, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, hopefully back on where we need to be from now on. So before we crack on with all the other stuff, just want to say really well done to the guys from Paddle West who so we did a pod with them in the middle of summer where they needed to raise money to refurbish the paddle hut down on the quay. That was done, that was achieved. Fair play to them. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we will start to see some improvements down there, and I fully intend on getting them back on as things are progressing, just to give us updates and to show what's happening. So yeah, congratulations on that, guys. Well done. I know, when you have a chat to people when you do these sorts of things. So we'll have a little bit of a chat first, and then we'll do the bit that we record, and then we'll usually have another chat later. And I know how passionate the guys involved in that were about doing something for the community and really having a long lasting effect on what happens in the community. So really chuffed to see them doing that down there. So let's do a little bit of news and events. I kind of rolled these into one. I'm trying to show off. I am is what I am, because I've got a little bit here to share. So there you can see how I very neatly and very tidily planned what's actually going to be in this week's news and events. One of the things I haven't done in there is that the barrage around the back of Castle Pond. So the barrage is closed. They're doing renovation work on it, which needs to be done every now and again. So that's being done for the next, I think they said 4 weeks. I did see the sign up. I've got it somewhere on my phone, but it's going to be a while. So yeah, just if you're a regular walker of your dog around the back there, you'll know that anyway. But if you do happen to take a nice walk around the Castle Pond every now and again, that's gonna get in your way at the minute for a couple of weeks. Yeah, so let's have a look and see what's going on. I got one more thing I want to put on the end of there. I didn't plan it that well in the end, as it happened. Okay, so events going on. So I just wanted to talk a little bit first of all about the Bridge Innovation Centre. Um, and it's a wonderful, really, really good building, location, environment, loads of businesses based up there. European headquarters, UK headquarters, all of that kind of stuff run out of local businesses that are taking on the world based up there in Pembroke Dock. So it's a really good, and so few people know about it. So if you know where it is as you're heading up to the bridge. So if you go down to Pembroke Dock and you're heading up towards the bridge, you get to the last roundabout, you go straight onto the bridge, take a right towards the old ITV Digital building, which is now HMRC on the left. But at that roundabout, you go right again, and then there's a big building on the left-hand side. Really, really nice building. And they're starting to do a lot of more stuff. They've always done stuff, but really starting to ramp up. Oh, it's an awful term, isn't it? Ramping up. Oh, it makes me sound like Boris Johnson. Ugh. So it's starting to increase the amount of business activity for so support things. So things like how to use AI, how to access some of the business support services. There's always a last Friday of every month on the Friday in the morning. There's a business drop-in event there, which is all about finance and funding and just networking, meeting other businesses and things like that. So if you are a business owner, that's a really, really good thing to go and be involved in. And one of the new things that they're doing is what you can see on the screen in front of you. For those of you listening on audio, I've scanned a whole load of stuff off Facebook. So if you go onto Facebook and go on to the Bridge Innovation Centre page, I've shared this on our page as well. So if you're struggling to find their page, it's a council page, so sometimes it's not great. But if you go onto our Facebook page, I've shared this as well on there. Okay. So one of the things I've started to do is entrepreneur talks. So the amount of successful business people we've got in Pembrokeshire is sometimes it's quite scary. You know, if you can make it in Pembrokeshire, you can pretty much replicate that across the rest of the country. This is a hard place to start a business, really, really hard place to start a business. So if you're successful, you can replicate it and move it across the rest of the country. So one of the people that is doing it. So normally business networking events tend to happen in the morning. They tend to happen about 8 till 9 or whatever, or 7:30 till 8:30. And everybody tends to be in a bit of a rush and they got to get to work and they got to do this, that, and the other. And you'll have a coffee and a bacon sandwich, and then you'll just chat around the same people, and then on you go. What the Innovation Centre are trying to do is kind of deliver something. So a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of, here's my story. So the guy you can see on the screen at the minute is Angus Findlay. Now, I know Angus from a couple of years ago, ironically, from a business networking group. Um, so Angus is a web designer from Web Adept. So he now, he works internationally. I was discussing with him one of his recent clients. So he didn't have a clue who he was. He was just talking to him like he was a guy from down the road. But I happen to know that he is quite a big, hefty head honcho in a certain field. So yeah, Angus has done really, really well, and he'll be giving a talk on his story, giving you some tips, this, that, and the other. That's October 13th, 6 to 7:30. It's a Monday night. So this is the Monday Entrepreneur, and there'll be more of these coming. So keep an eye on the Facebook page. This is a really, really good asset to have so close to us. We've got a lot of business people in Pembroke, and this is just, it's new, it's innovative. I think this is the way forward. It's almost like a mini TED talk every month, but you can also go and network and meet new people. If you're a new business, if you're a small business, if you're a builder, an electrician, if you're a carpenter, if you're any of the trades, anything that you normally wouldn't have time to go to a networking event, just go to the first one. You will be surprised who you see. You'll make contacts. Worst case scenario, you get a cup of coffee and a bit of scram, and you hear somebody talk about how great they are. Okay. What I will tell you about Angus, I can guarantee there'll be at least 2 minutes where he tries to persuade you to buy a website off him. That's what makes him such a successful person. But the rest of it will be about how his journey, where he's got to, and how he's got there, and bits that you can take out of it. And if you want to have a chat with him after, he's a really nice guy to talk to on that. So yeah, that is the Monday Entrepreneur Club, and that is open to everyone at the Bridge Innovation Centre. Now, I'm also going to put this up here as well. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of businessy news stuff at the start. This bit here is really, really important. So what I'm sharing for those listening on the audio, this is on our Facebook page as well. Okay, and this is a link to a survey, which is the most boring thing on the planet. I know, I get it. But I'm going to tell you why this one is important if you're a local business in Pembrokeshire. Okay. So this is run by the business team at PCC. And now I'm going to put my hand up here and I'm going to tell you that I'm part of that team. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you why this is really, really important. The amount of funding we get for business initiatives in Pembrokeshire has shrunk and shrunk and shrunk and shrunk and shrunk. We're at the arse end of nowhere, and nobody in the middle really cares about us, whether that be Cardiff or London. Nobody really cares about us, despite all the good stuff we've got going on here, despite how important we are to the rest of the economy in the UK. Nobody cares about the rest of it for us down here. They just assume that it's going to happen. So where business support is being narrowed and narrowed and narrowed, we now need to stand up and fight for the business support in this area. And that's what this survey is all about. Okay. It's saying to central government and national government that actually this is the support that we need down here. And it'll help us to structure the support that we deliver in Pembrokeshire. So, we'll go back to the thing about the Monday night club. That's a new thing that has come from a request from businesses. They couldn't attend early in the morning because they were always on the job from 8 o'clock. So a 9 o'clock meeting for them may as well be in the middle of the day. It's no use. So that's why, okay, let's listen to what businesses are saying. Let's do something at a different time when they can attend. It's that kind of thing. So what this survey is doing is it's helping to shape the future support in local businesses, but it will help us to go and say to central government, this is what local businesses have asked for. This is what we need to deliver in Pembrokeshire to make sure our people in Pembrokeshire are on a level playing field with everyone else. Yeah. Um, we know it's hard, but this is the tool to use to get there. So if you go onto, again, the Bridge Innovation Centre website, Facebook page, you'll see this on there. We have shared it. You can either access it through that QR code there, or if you scroll down a little, you'll see a little bit of blurb there. And then there's a link down the bottom here as well. Okay. So this is about making your voice heard as a business in Pembrokeshire. So you may run a business previously, and you might not be running it now. You might be wanting to run a business. Get involved. You might know somebody that runs a business. You might know somebody that's frustrated by something. Get them to get involved in this, because if you're not shouting, then nobody's listening. Yeah. There are so many people trying to talk that sometimes you all need to get together and go, right, okay, listen to me shout, because this is what I want to shout about. So this is your way of shouting at central government with the support of Pembrokeshire business team. Okay. So that's that bit there done. So before I come on to this bit here as well, just a couple of bits with business. Now, you may be able to help me with this here. I may have got the wrong end of the stick. Bros Kitchen at East End. That looks like it's closing. The signs have come down. It's not open. I may get the wrong end of the stick on that, but it looks like it was doing quite well from what I saw. Every time I walk past, there were people in there, but that looks like that's gone. But other end of town, next to out, looks like a gourmet burger place going there, which, yeah, a little bit weird. But yeah, well, whether it's eating, might be a restaurant or might be a takeaway, I don't know. But a gourmet burger takeaway, gourmet burger station going in there. I think I saw the sign go up, and then I saw the sign being wrapped up. So I may have let the cat out of the bag. So apologies if I've done that, but yeah, that's what I think is going there as well. So other bits that are coming to Pembroke. Now, this is a really interesting initiative. When I talk about the stuff at the BIC, a lot of the stuff at the BIC is energy and engineering focused. And this is about a planning thing, which is coming to St. Daniel's Hill, bottom of St. Daniel's Hill. Now, this is an energy storage unit. So one of the issues with renewable energy is storage. You might make a load of sun when it's really, really sunny, you'll make a whole load of energy, but you can't do anything with it because Nobody needs to switch a light on because it's sunny. Nobody needs the heating. It's warm. And then when it gets cold and horrible and miserable, you're relying entirely on your wind. So what these are really small units that store excess energy. There are four planned in Pembrokeshire. One of them is coming to Pembroke. They're about they say they're about the same size as two parking bays, and essentially, you remember when um, mini generating stations, mini stations used to start popping up here, there, and everywhere. It's just like the modern version of that. But this is a really encouraging thing for me to see these going up because they will act as buffers. So the energy that gets generated gets stored in these, and then when it's needed, boom, hey presto, there it is on that, and it will further reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, which is always a good thing. So that reminds me, come back to that in a moment. So yeah, hopefully that will come through, and we'll see a few more of those popping up in the near future. This is a new business again that has this was just about to open when I did my last pod, Vine and Vibe, up at the school in the old school area, the school greenhouse area to the right there. But they've really done a cracking job, not just made it into a garden centre. It's a little bit more than that. It's I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been up yet because like I say I've had a crazy couple of weeks. But what I've seen from it, they've done a fantastic job just to kind of make it into a little bit more than a um a little bit more than a garden centre. It's a garden centre, but also a little restaurant and a little bit more chilled, and it's got a bit of a vibe to it on that. So yeah, well done for getting open on that one, guys. Congrats on that. Now I just wanted to share this for you as well. This is the takeout menu at the Ferry Inn, bottom of the hill. So there's if you've never been to the Ferry Inn, okay, it is uh, again as you come over the bridge, go down the hill to take the right off that roundabout if you're coming. It's down the bottom of the hill. It's in Pembroke Ferry, but they've got a takeout menu now. So tacos, loaded fries, burgers, those kind of things. I love the stuff that they do down there. So I can absolutely guarantee that at some point in the near future, I will be having some tacos and loaded fries from them. And I suggest you do the same. What else have we got going? So we've got up at the leisure centre. This starts this weekend, 10:30 to 11:30. Cricket. Cricket coaching for 8 to 15 is free of charge. There's your QR code to sign up. Pop in and just get some excellent. The cricket season doesn't stop now. It's training all the way through. That's the joy of the cricket season. But that's got to be worth a crack. If you're a fan of cricket, if you want to give it a go, if you want to get started, or if you just want to keep your eye in, that's the place to go. There's a QR code there. Again, that is on our Facebook page. I'm just going to give a quick shout out as well to Michelle Wiggins, who's Mayor of Pembroke Dock, who's hosting Macmillan Coffee Morning on Saturday the 20th between 10 and 12 in Penna Community Church. It's £1 to get in, and there's cakes and raffles and all sorts of stuff. That's a really good place to go. Gosh, I've done a lot tonight, haven't I? This as well has just been announced today. So this is the Pembrokeshire Spotlight Awards. It's basically a way of rewarding stuff, people that do good stuff in their community. This is on our Facebook page, but also on the PCC Facebook page as well. It's got a list of all of the categories. I can guarantee if there's somebody that you know that you think, do you know what, they do a really good job for our community. They need a bit of a thank you. This is the place to do it. I guarantee at least two categories you'll be able to fit them in. And it would be great to have a whole load of people from Pembroke and Pembroke Dock just go in, hey, look at us. So this is the good stuff that goes on. You know, all you hear about is the bad stuff. That's the stuff that gets the clicks. That's the stuff that gets the people talking. That's the stuff that gets the people arguing. let's talk about all the good stuff that people do, and let's nominate. But what's the worst that could happen? What's the absolute worst that could happen? Um, they end up doing exactly the same as what they do now, but they know that somebody's thinking of them. So let's do that on that. I've also got this here, which again, now this is in Pembroke Dock, but this is for anyone in the local area. If you know anyone who's a young carer, now young carers, anyone from this is for 11 to 18-year-olds. There are younger carers than that. Anyone that's caring for a family member, this just a chance to have a bit of space, a bit of time, a little bit of away from the responsibility. Um, and it's much, much needed. If you know anyone who might benefit from this, then please let them know. It's based at Mind in Pembroke Dock, bottom of Merrick Street. Um, it's on a Friday, 5:30 till 7. It's only an hour and a half, but that hour and a half will be absolute quality. There's people on hand that can help talk things through, give them emotional support. Part of the problem often with young carers is that they don't have an outlet. Um, if if your kid's not a carer for you and they're having a crap day, they can come home and they can shout at you and they can scream and they can cry and you can put your arms around them. And you can go, hey, it's okay, let's talk it through. A young carer can't do that. They've got in there and everything gets bottled up. So they need things like this to help just to be normal, to help to be a child. So if you know anyone that might need it, it's there. I don't think you need to book. You just kind of turn up and go hello, and somebody will greet you, give you a cup of tea, and go coming in. Okay. So I just wanted to share this as well. Again, this is in I shared this on the Pembroke Dock one that I just recorded as well. But this is a really good idea if you're a little bit older. The Pembroke Boxing Club, which is based in the old snooker hall in Pembroke Dock, every Thursdays is a Parkinson and stroke boxing sessions. Have a look on their website. Um, Let me check and see. Is that yeah? They haven't got a time on there. Oh, from 15, yeah, 15 years, 3 till 4. Okay. But this is virtual boxing. It really helps to just set your synapses going, keep the brain active, do things in there. It's a really great idea. Hats off to them. I know it's Pembroke Dock, but for me, this is a great thing for local people to have access to on that. Okay, so before I start sharing, I just want to go back and revisit a couple of things that I've said in the past. So the first thing is I did the thing on the bikes, e-bikes, and it did get a little bit tasty around town. Okay. I'm not worried about putting my head above the water on that and trying to help people to do things to make the place a better place. But yeah, it did get quite uncomfortable. But the police, yeah, hats off to the police. We've been encouraging people to report these people on bikes to the police for a while. And fair play to them, they've started doing something about it and they have started targeting. They've taken a couple of bikes off the road and they have arrested one young man. Um, there are still more out there. We know there are, but keep reporting because if you don't, the why is it important? Because I've got two elderly neighbours that can now no longer walk up Pembroke Main Street because they're frightened of getting hit by the bikes. That's why for me, this is really important. I've seen those guys doing wheelies going the wrong way up Main Street. I've seen them daring each other to go flat out across at the end of Main Street and go down Well Hill to see how fast they can do that. One of them was feet away from getting hit by a lorry. Um, they're not insured. There's no MOTs on them. I saw one the other day with tires on it that were just completely bald. Now it's raining. What's he going to grip? So please keep reporting them because yeah, we're making headway. we're making headway on that. The other bit that I was going to say, so I shared my photos a couple of weeks ago um, of the uh, graffiti out at Stackpole, and I'll be honest, I had a massive amount of abuse from far right supporters. You know, that's essentially who it was from, far right supporters. Um, and what I've done is I've slowly worked my way through those people and had a look at who they are and where they're from and those kind of things. I, from what I can see, and so there's various ways of checking, are they genuine? Of the people who gave the insults, the people that started having a go, and they're about 35 or 40. So I'd say about 80% of them were fake profiles. Okay. So 80% of them are fake profiles, and then you've got 20% of people. Um, most of them weren't local. There were a couple of local people that said if they want to paint an English flag in the middle of Pembroke Main Street, then that's what they'll do because that's their right. Make your wave, make of what you will on that. Um, but yeah, most of the people throwing grief weren't real. So that's the world we live in. That I was on the point of stopping this completely and just going on, when you've got people threatening you with all sorts of things, this, that, and the other, and the same happening with the bikes. Um, yeah, it got a bit uncomfortable, but most of those people weren't real and most of them weren't from around here. So if you have seen those comments and you have seen um, various things being written and various things being said, local people care about the local environment. Local people know how important Stackpole is. Local people know how important that environment is, and we care about being Welsh, and we care about, nobody's ramming a Welsh flag down anyone's throat, but we're also not going to sit there and have somebody else's flag rammed down our throat. So yeah, just wanted to say to the people who did stand up to those comments a big thank you on that. Okay, so before I do the chatty bit, just want to say if you're enjoying what you're hearing and seeing, please do give us a like and a rate and a subscribe on YouTube. Makes a massive difference to us, helps us spread the word, and helps get people involved in what we do. And that is my second call out. If you're looking at it and thinking, okay, I might not be able to do some of the other stuff, but I can sit there and chat rubbish for an hour on a Monday night or a Sunday night or whatever. And you want to get involved and you care about our town, please do email me on ilovetowncast@gmail.com, or you can comment or message us on Facebook. I haven't got a Twitter page yet. I'm struggling with Twitter. I know how effective Twitter can be, but I just don't want to tell Elon Musk that his platform works. It just, and some of the abuse on. So you all know I run rugby podcasts as well, and we based a lot of them on Twitter. That was our main marketing tool to start with, and even on them, we still get abuse on the rugby ones. Um, because we're proud to be Welsh. So it's very much a weird place to be at the minute. There's loads of other ways of messaging us. And if you want to get involved, please do. If you want to do TikTok, Instagram, all of those kind of things. Yeah. So what will be happening is I've got lots of interest in doing a towncast for places like Tenby, Haverfordwest, Milford, Fishguard, a couple of places in Carmarthen. Loads of other towns want to get involved and do their own towncasts, and so I'm going to be setting those up and running those. So it would be good to have 2 or 3 people taking over on here from me, and I'd still do all the stuff in the background and help you and this, that, and the other. But yeah, it would be good to just have a few other people involved on that. Okay, let's move on to the chatty bit, and kind of kind of comes from some of the stuff that I've just been talking about as well. So this Wednesday, I'm just going to check the date. What's the date on Wednesday? 24th. Wednesday, 24th. Town council offices, 5:30. Anytime between 5 and 5:30, you can pop in for a chat, and then 5:30, a town meeting is going to start, which makes it all very exciting. Um, this town meeting, again, so this is something that we spoke about a while ago, where we were talking about the scooters around the town, and the scooters and the bikes, I tend to separate. Different groups of people, different reasons for being on those things. So we were talking about, could we put something somewhere in town on the commons or whatever that would give them somewhere to go, give them something to do. So the current proposal is to put a skate park in the town. Yeah, no, there's one in the dock. There's one in there's one in Haverfordwest. There's one in Milford. There's a small one in Tenby. So we know that they're around. Okay, so that's the proposal, to put one in, and this is a long process. Okay, there's, as far as we find out more on Wednesday, obviously, but at the minute, I don't think there's a site. There's no fundraising. There's no way of doing it at the minute. That's why we need more people involved. The saying, "Many hands makes light work," absolutely, definitely for this. There is going to be an awful lot of work to get this up to where it needs to get to. And whatever it turns out to be, I'll be absolutely straight up front with you now. I think more of a multi-use site would be better, but that takes much more time and more money, but it's easier to fundraise for. But I just think more people would be able to use it, and blah blah blah. That's the whole point of the meeting. Is to kick things off. We're not going to decide anything on Wednesday. It's about getting people involved, putting a vision out there, and this, that, and the other. It's all being run by Councillor Carey. Okay. Um, if you care about our town, if the kids annoy you, if you're one of the people that's been driving along the commons and one of those kids has thrown a wet lump of toilet roll at you, and you don't know what it is, and you've skidded and you've braked and you've almost caused an accident, then this is a good way of getting involved. This is a good way of going, do you know what? Let's give those kids something to do. So there's no excuse. There's now no excuse for you to stand there and cause accident after accident. There's no excuse for you to be riding around on a scooter doing 25, 30 mile an hour, pitch black, and almost getting run over and knocking over the old grannies. There's no excuse for that now. You've got a place to go. You've got a place to do. So yeah, do get involved. So what I'm going to be there, and I'm going to try and keep people updated through the podcast, and just kind of get more people involved and those kind of things. So yeah, but if you want to, Wednesday 5 till 5. Aaron said that he'd be there from about 5ish if you wanted to go and have a chat. Meeting to start at 5:30. I think he said 7 to finish, and then there's another meeting in the room after that. But the more of us that go, and the more of us that put our hand up and go, do you know what, I'm willing to do something, the better. And there may be a whole load of other things that come out of that group, but it might be the start of the real thing that we need in Pembroke, which is more people trying to help the town be better. Okay. So, yeah, if you've got anything, that is the place to go. That is the place to, I said, there's going to be a lot of consultation in the future. And I really, really encourage people to get involved in it. If your kid is one of those kids that is down on the commons, outside the tan yard, and they're not the responsibility of the tan yard. You're their parents. They're your responsibility, regardless of where they go. They're your responsibility. And if your kids are there throwing stuff at cars, playing chicken with lorries, um, trying to buzz grannies as they walk around the park and all of that, you need to be one of those people in that meeting going, okay, let's do something productive. And the more of us that are involved, the quicker that will get, um, and the quicker we will make stuff happen. We will make good stuff happen in Pembroke. There's a lot of good stuff starting to happen in Pembroke. We need to roll the ball that and bounce off each other and go, let's keep this going. Okay. So, okay, that's that done there. I'm gonna go back to my screen and let's have a look at some sports news. Okay, so the last time I did this, it was the football season was just starting, rugby's were kind of doing friendlies, cricket season had just finished, and now we're into the proper part of the season. So rugby is dead simple. We've only got one team to follow, and it's Pembroke. So we kicked off the season with a home win against the Quins, 27-17. Now, I'll be fair, WRU coming for a lot of flack, rightly so, in my opinion. But starting the season with that home game, absolutely ding dong. Yeah, that's where you need to be. The reciprocal will be around Christmas time. Starts the season with a really good crowd, gets people in, gives you a good bump start of the season, and a win. So yeah, fair play, loving that on there. I mean, the table we're one game in, it doesn't make much of a difference. Game this week away to Tenby Athletic. So Tenby Athletic is Tenby seconds. A lot of those Tenby seconds boys are ex-Pembroke boys. So this is going to be a really, really interesting game. And, Tenby last week put 50 points on Langham, which, you know, yeah, all well and good. Langham aren't the strongest team in the world, but they give a good fight. Tenby against Pembroke, that's going to be a proper one. Pembroke will be more prepared for that game than Tenby will on that. So best of luck to the boys. Going to Tenby on Saturday. Of course, it's Ironman, so it's going to be, it's going to be quite busy. Um, Probably should have included that in events with all the town closures, the road closures going on, and all of those kind of things. But you're a local resident, you'll know all of that by now on there. So, yeah, fixtures, Tenby, going to be a good one on there. Let's have a look at football. Now, I'm going to be honest, okay, I haven't prepared this in a massive amount of detail. That's it. Being a little bit busy, blah, 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 blah. So what I'm going to do is just going to run down, pick out any sides that might be of interest to us, okay? So Division 1, you might be interested to know that Carew lost 6-1 away in Goodwick, or you might be interested to know that Moncton beat Kilgetty 7-0 away as well on that. Okay. So we're a few games into this here. The previous week, if I look, Swifts lost 2-0 to Hakin. Hakin are a good team. There's no shame losing to Hakin, but they would have wanted to have won that. Carew lost 4-0 at Merlin's Bridge. Where does that leave everyone in the table? So, I mean, Swifts were top of the table last year. Let's be fair. So they're 1, 2, 3, 4. They're fifth in the table, 2 from 4. They played the people on top of the table, which is Hakin. So yeah, bit of work to do there. Carew one off the bottom. Fixtures for this week: Carew host Kilgetty, and the Robins travel to Goodwick. Now, Goodwick are always sorry, that's the Robins. I don't want to talk. Just done that one with a Pembroke dog. Swifts travel to Fishguard. So Fishguard, yeah, just below them. Also 2 from 4. So yeah, gonna be a good game. Fishguard is always a tough game, always a tough game up there. Um, so yeah, best of luck to the Swifts. Oh, it's at home. It's in Moncton. So yeah, even better. Lovely jubbly on that one. Right, let's have a look at Division Two. Who have we got in Division Two? Carew Reserves. I think we'll just skip over that one. Moncton Swift Reserves. There we go. Lost 4-2 to Gillick United Reserves. I think that's everything that we've got in there. Yeah, week before, Swift Reserves beat Herbinston 5-2 on there. So table third place. Yeah, third is not bad. Oh, I've done it again, haven't I? That's eight. Yeah, so Swifts. Okay, down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off the bottom on 6 points. Still early season, 2 from 4. Next couple of weeks, quite important on that one. So, yeah, this weekend they host Nayland. Uh, Realistically, that should be now. Normally, that should be an easy game, but Nayland are 2 from 4 as well. So yeah, but say early part of the season, difficult to say what's what. Let's have a look at Division Three. Who have we got in Division Three? Bum, bum, I suppose Loreni. So Loreni Big Camrose 2-1. But yeah, actually, yeah, we've not really got anyone in Division Three. Let's have a look in Division Four. Who have we got in Division Four? There we go. Yes. So Angle beat Solver Reserves 11-2. Uh, that's a hefty old game to be a part of there. Um, and then Hungleton lost 4-0 away in St Florence. Week before, Hungleton lost 6-2 against Milford Athletic, and Angle lost 3-0 at Milford United Reserves on that. So table looks like this. Angle in third on 10 points, 3 wins from 5 games. And Hungleton one off the bottom, 3 points with 1 win on their fixtures for this week. Angle face St Florence, and Hungleton host Prendergast Villa on there. Okay. Into Division 5. Rounded up then. Who have we got in Division 5? Must have someone in Division 5. No, no one in Division 5. Well, let's just pretend that Pembroke Borough Reserves. Yeah, so they won 6-1. There we go. Okay, that is it for this week's Towncast. So please do like, rate, and review us. Subscribe. Making subscription it just lets you know when we're live, and often it'll be late at night, so you'll get it early first thing in the morning. If you want to join us, ilovetimecast@gmail.com, and please do attend the meeting on Wednesday. And don't forget to fill in the survey. I think that's it. I'm all done. It's been really nice to be back. I shall see you again next week. And until then, let's make Pembroke proud. All the best.